Hey everybody, welcome back. Episode 2 of our Software Inc. playthrough, where we left off yesterday. Episode 1, picking up right where we left off. So, December 1984, we got $25 million, another $20 million in our bank account. It is December, so let's go through and take a look and see what new software came out. Looks like there's a computer operating system that came out. Great quality. They'll probably do pretty well. Let's take a look at their stock and see where they stand here. Yep, we're going to grab all that. Set that aside. And there's an antivirus software that came out. And another one hasn't hit the market for a while, so they will probably sell well. We'll take a look at them. Oh yeah, we'll take that too. I'm just going to take all the things. Office software. You got 2 of them that came out. Looks like Stick Digital has sold 14,000 copies already, and Slide Kingdom only sold 8,000. Stick Digital is going to be the one that we go for. Invest in them. They'll probably show us a bigger profit at the end of the year. So let's take their stock. And Office software. We already covered. There's another operating system that came out. This one is a console one, so I won't really be competing with that computer one. Let's take a look at them. Yeah, we'll take all their stuff. And there's a 2D editor that came out. Actually, 2 of them. And let's see, Fly Realities did a great one. They've already sold 18,000 copies. Shadow Camp Studios is also a great one, but they've only sold 7,300. So we will go with Fly Reality Studios. So own stock in 5 companies now. Game software we're going to skip. There's an audio tool. 2 audio tools that came out. Wavemaker from Timeblade has sold 18,000 copies. It's great quality. Sign Studio from Macro Trials is only good quality, and their sales figures show that. So we're going to take Timeblade Studio, and we will buy their stock as well. It's actually quite affordable. Oh, there was a second console operating system that I didn't notice. So SlickTap is the one we already invested in. That was only good quality. This one's great quality, and they sold more already. So you know what? We're gonna go back in here, and we're gonna instantly sell that back because we bought it and sold it while the game was paused. We haven't lost or gained any money on that. We break even. And instead, we will buy stock in this company. And do that one instead. And that is all of the decent ones that came out this month. Game software we are going to skip because those don't tend to be good investments. You can create game software and make a lot of money, but investing in other companies that make game software really don't pay off very well. So looks like we have stock in those 6 companies. let's go ahead and take the game off of pause, put it on 3-speed, let it run, and actually put it back on pause for 1 second, and let's take and put $10 million in our bank account. No sense it's sitting up there in the wall and not doing us any good, not making us any money. Put it in the bank, let it start getting some interest. Now we can take it off of pause. And it's January, going into February. We'll let this run. See where we end up at the end of the year. We're going up in value. We must be getting some decent dividend payments. Yeah, we're making about $700,000 in dividend payments every month. So this is going to be a big year, big year. As long as that number keeps going up, we'll be doing good. Up to 11.3 already. 11.6. Only got about 300 that month. It's starting to dwindle down, but it is almost to the end of the year, which is kind of to be expected. Dividend payments kind of fall off as sales start to dwindle off. It's November, let our guy go home, and it takes over to December, and time to check in on our stocks. So Time Blade Studios went up 1,200%. We will sell that off. Fly Reality went up 1,200% as well. Go ahead and sell that off. iSpin, that was that operating system that we bought, 830%. Stick Digital, they only went up 23%, and at this point they stopped paying dividends, so their sales must have fallen off a little earlier than the other companies. We probably could have paid a little closer attention to this, kept that window open, and actually sold it for a little bit more of a profit, but profit is profit. These guys 85% up, so almost double what we paid for it, and 843% for the computer operating system that we bought. So that's a $61 million profit. Probably about, I think we had 10 million in there, so about $50 million that year in stock price increases and dividend payouts. So it is December, so as usual, we will go through and look and see what the game has to offer. Looks like one operating system, a console one, we're going to go ahead and buy that. Looks like an audio tool came out. The only audio tool, so we will definitely see a profit from that. Games will skip, antivirus. We will invest in that. There was a 2D editor that came out. It came out in November, so last month. So if we bought it in November, we would have made a little profit already. But it's only December, 1 month later. They'll keep selling for a while and keep turning a profit. So even though we're a month late, we will still go ahead and buy in on their shares. So just for this year to invest in. Leaves us a lot of money sitting up in our wallet, so let's go ahead and take 50 million and put that in our bank account, giving us $81 million in the bank. Still 8.6 up in our wallet. Total company value right now at the end of the 6th year is $93 million, and we haven't even hired a single person. Still, our guy is working, if you can call it working, 1 day a month. He comes in, sits on the picnic table, and goes home. And might have to invest in a nicer picnic table for him soon. We can definitely afford it. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off a pause and let it run. I'm going to keep this one open and make sure that it does turn a profit, which price did go up, but they didn't pay us any dividends, so we can keep an eye on that one. And it looks like they're doing okay now. They're starting to pay dividends and the price is continuing to rise. So I will bring you back in December, let this run. And we're back. It is only July now. I brought you back early because I noticed as the game was running through the year that the dividend payouts on that operating system that we bought, they stopped paying us dividend payments. They're up 313% or 313%. So we did see an increase there, but the fact that the payout is dropped to zero means, their sales must be falling off. So we're probably going to see a decrease here. So we're going to go ahead and sell that early, get out of that deal. Everyone else looks to be still doing pretty well. Oop, that one has also dropped to zero, but they're up 750%. We're going to go ahead and get out of that deal before we start losing some. These guys are still doing okay. So hang on to those two, sell off the other two, and take it off a pause, let it run, continue until December, and I will see you then. Alright everybody, it's December 1986. We've gotten through that rest of that year. Let's check in on our stocks. They did very good. I forget if that was the 2D editor or the audio tool, but it went up 2,000%. We'll sell them off. Alpha Inc. looks like 345% up, and they've been paying us dividends. We could probably hang on to that for maybe 1 or 2 more months, but at this point we're just going to sell it off. $33 million in our wallet now, in addition to the 82 million that's in our bank account. So our company value is $116 million at this point. Let's look and see what came out. So 2 pieces of office software came out. They're both good quality, priced about equal, sales about equal. They'll probably sell about equal. Neither one is going to be a really big seller, but they'll probably both turn a profit. Not a huge one, because they'll kind of cannibalize each other's sales. One company will take half the market, the other company will take the other half. But if we invest in both of them, they're both pretty cheap. We'll just have to make sure that we keep an eye on them. If their dividend payout drops to zero or the sales start to peter off, we will just sell it off early. It looks like there's an antivirus software that came out back in May, and another one that came out in December here. The one back in May was great quality. The one in December is great quality. Let's see. Who makes that one? Stab Hard. They do have 1 million fan following. So even though an antivirus software came out just 6 months ago, the fact that they have 1 million person or 1 million fan following, they probably will sell a bit of, not a huge massive amount, but we probably will see a little bit of a profit from them. And that's all. It's a pretty small release of software this year. Won't be a big year, but we've been doing well so far. So take $25 million, put it in our bank account, which leaves us with just shy of $4 million in our wallet. We'll go ahead, take this off of pause and let it run. We're going to keep an eye on these. That one did go up, and that one went up 52%. Now they're starting to pay dividends. And whoop, we'll hit pause right here. I know it's only February, but it looks like these guys, that antivirus software, just must not be selling well. Stock price is already down, and they're not paying us dividends. There is no sense hanging on to their stock. Let's just dump that off and get rid of it. Take it off pause, let it run. Keep an eye on these two. Oop. Stock prices did go up for both companies, but if you noticed, the dividend payout for this one dropped by a couple $1,000. Their sales are probably starting to fall off already, even though it's only March. Let's hang on to this one and see what happens. Yeah, they're going up still, so this must be the company that's marketed better. And it just went to 0 already by June. So this is the peak. We will sell that off. We don't have any stock, and it's only June. So we're just going to let this run. And I'll bring you back in December, check in, and see what new stuff came out, what investment opportunities the game has to offer at that point. Alright, so we're back to December. $10 million in our wallet, a bunch of money in the bank. We don't own any stock because we sold all that early this year. Let's see what new things came out here. Looks like a couple operating systems, 2 console ones, 1 computer one, some games, an audio tool. Back in May, an antivirus came out. So let's take a look at the computer operating system first. We always want to check that one first because those are the big money makers. So their stock price is at $5 million already. Oh no, I'm sorry, 491,000. I looked at that wrong. So that's pretty cheap. Console operating systems, one from SICTAP, one from iSpin. It looks like SICTAP LLC has a good quality one. iSpin has a great quality one. iSpin is definitely gonna be the better seller. Let's go ahead and invest in them. And audio tool from Macro Trials came out. their share price is really cheap. We'll invest in them. And there was an antivirus that came out back in May, which actually did pretty well, seeing as how it came out in May rather than December. But at this point, we're 6 months in. Even if we invested in them now, we might see a little profit, but their sales would start to fall off probably somewhere around April, May, June. And if we're going to let the game run until December, we probably wouldn't see a profit still. At that point, their stock price would have dropped down. They would have stopped paying us. So we will not invest in them right now. We'll hang on to these three. 6.5 million in the bank or in the wallet. Take it off a pause and let it run until December of '88, and we'll check back in then. Alright, once again, had to bring it back early. It's June. Console operating systems just don't seem to be selling well. The fact that 2 of them came out probably didn't help at all. But these guys stopped paying us dividend. The stock price is only up 37%. So if we let this kick over until July, we'll probably start losing money. So we need to get out of that deal while it's still profitable and unpause the game, let her run, and I'll see you in December. Right, December time again. Let's see where we stand. Looks like their stock price went up a little bit, not a huge amount. It basically doubled, but profit is profit. 704% up. Their stock price is worth about 8 times what we initially paid for it. We'll sell that off. That's another $30 million in our wallet now. Got 112 million in the bank. We have accrued quite a bit of interest, and we'll continue to gain more and more interest over time. So I'm just going to leave the money in there. I'll take a look at the new releases, see where we stand. One computer operating system came out from Kick-Trip rather, and they're not competing with anyone because the previous one came out the previous December, over a whole year ago. So we will go ahead and invest in their stock. And 2 pieces of office software. Slide Kingdoms is good. Stick Digitals is also good. They sold about equal. In the past, when there was 2 of them that came out the same month, and they're about equal in every respect, sales, quality, neither of them sold really well. And in fact, we had to sell them off early in most cases. So I'm just going to skip them this year. This 2D editor from Time Blade, that came out, and that is the only one that came out recently. It is great quality. They've already sold 27,000 copies. That's probably a pretty good investment, and they're super cheap right now. There's 2 antivirus that came out back in May. Too late to invest, and the fact that 2 of them came out, we really don't. We wouldn't have seen a huge increase in price in either of them. So that's it. Kind of a slow year. 1988, only 2 companies to invest in. But we've been doing good. Our company value is at $143 million at this point, and we still don't have any staff. We don't have any office furniture, no computers, no servers, no nothing. Just a guy sitting at a picnic table. So Tell you, if I can make $143 million sitting at a picnic table one day a month, I sure the heck would. So let's take 20 million and drop that into our bank account. Let that make some interest for us as well, and take it off a pause and let it run. Unless something happens, we'll just let it run through the year, and I'll see you again in December. Okay folks, it's December 1989. We've let it run through the year. Only two stocks that we have held, but it looks like that one did turn a profit, and the operating system one did stop paying us dividends at one point, but they continued to their stock price continued to go up, so we did hang on to that throughout the entire year. We'll sell both those off, and it puts us at $30 million in our wallet. And it looks like for new releases, there was an operating system, a console operating system that came out in November last month, and they did make some sales. They're not quite profitable yet. We will go ahead and invest in that one. And the only other software that came out in December are 2 games. So kind of a slow year. Before we take it off a pause, let's go ahead and check one more thing here. If we sort it by founded date, it looks like in January of '88 there was a new company that got established, and they have no fans. They have not released any products yet. Their stock is sitting at the base level of 50,000 per share. It hasn't gone up and it hasn't gone down because they haven't released any software at this point. But we are going to invest in them, and we're going to set them aside over here because we are able to buy their shares at $50,000 each. Before they released any software, before they started showing a profit or a loss for that matter, it only cost us $200,000 to invest in them and own all their stock. So if we hang on to that forever instead of selling it off after 12 months like we've been doing the other ones, every time they release a piece of software and they pay us dividends, that money will probably quickly cover the $200,000 that we had to invest in them since we got in so early. So we don't care if their stock price goes up, down, or sideways. We're going to get money off of them from dividends rather than share or stock price increases and decreases. So I'm going to set it over here and just hang on to that one forever. As far as total value of companies, we're in the top 10 already. 164 million. We are getting up there. There's still a couple that are quite a bit more profitable than us. Well, not hugely profitable. They're worth about twice as much as us, the number one company. But every year we've been gaining money from stocks, and we have no employees that are costing us money. No one's asking for additional salary increases or anything like that. So we just continue to make money and make money and make money and pretty much never lose money. So only one company that we bought in this year. Not going to be a huge year, I don't think. We are going to drop a little bit of money in the bank. Let's say 15 million. I do want to keep some up in the wallet since we only have invested in one company. Once we sell that off, we do need to make sure that we have some money up there to invest in software the next year. So we won't put all the money in our bank account. We're just going to hang on to a bit of it and take it off a pause and let it run. And I will see you in December of 1990. Alright everybody, December 1990 is rolled around, and we just own that one company stock, so we're going to sell that off. It puts us at 17 million in our wallet, 153 million in our bank account. Looks like a couple operating system softwares did come out, a 2D editor. So let's take a look and see here. Computer operating system from Throw Like Face Corporation. Boy, that's a hard one to say. We'll go ahead and invest in them. Two antiviruses, both came out the same month. They're both great. This one did sell about 3 times as much already. But I think I'm going to skip that one. Console operating systems, we got 2 of them that came out. The one from iSpin hasn't sold as much as the one from SickTap, but they are great quality, whereas the other one is only good quality. So these guys have a head start, but these guys will probably end up better in the long run. And their shares are not super expensive, $170,000 a piece. I'm gonna grab that up. There was a 2D editor that came out from Macro Trials, and we will go ahead and invest in them, I think. And then the rest are games. Ooh, there was a computer operating system, a console one that came out just last month. Good quality, great quality, good quality. These guys got a big jump on the competition by releasing a month early. They've already sold 500,000 copies. They've already showed quite a bit of profit. You know, that iSpin Studios that we bought in, even though they're great quality, they're kind of starting off behind the 8 ball because these guys released a month early. So I'm going to revise my decision and invest in that company instead, and take the shares of iSpin and immediately dump them. Let someone else take the risk on that one. So 3 companies invested. A little money left in our wallet, a bunch of money in our bank. We're still holding on to this company over here. Looks like they still haven't released any software. Yeah, they still haven't released any software. I don't know what's taking them so long. But it only cost us $200,000 total to buy all their stock, so we'll continue to hang on to that. I'm going to take it off a pause and let it run. I'll bring you back January of 91 and see where we stand. Had to bring it back in March. Looks like the decision to buy that good quality console operating system software that came out in December instead of the one that came out in November rather than December, looks like was the wrong decision. So they started losing money already, and I bet you, let's see, ooh, good thing we stopped and checked. It looked like a computer operating system just came out this month, which is unusual, from Man Incorporated. Before we take the game off a pause and check, or let it run, let's check and see. January of 91 they were established, and they came out with a piece of software the month they were established. So we're going to see. They're probably going to make a big profit, but because they were just established, they'll continue to make computer operating system software over the years, and their shares are so cheap that we're going to put it over on this side and hang on to that one forever. And just every time they release a new operating system, we'll make money off the dividends. So take it off a pause, let it run, and we'll check back in again in a few minutes. Alright, December of 91 has rolled around. We're going to sell off the stock that we bought. Both of them did actually pretty darn well, giving us $42 million. Our company value is at $211 million, $212 million. So, seeing as how we haven't made a piece of software yet, the fact that we're already worth over $200 million is pretty darn good. That Man Inc. software that we bought paid us a whole bunch of dividend over the year, and their stock price is up 4,900%, so it's worth basically 50 times what we paid for it, and that will continue to go up and down over the years, but every time they release software, we will see money coming in from them. These guys, I don't know what their problem is, if their company is glitched or what the deal is, but it's been 3 years and they still have not released any software at all. So we haven't seen a profit or a loss or any dividend payments or anything from them, but we're just going to hang on to them. So I think that's going to be it for today. We will continue in the next episode, the next video, and pick up where we left off here in December of 91 with a whole bunch of money in our wallet, a whole bunch of money in the bank. We do need to remember to check and see what new software came out, but we will take care of that at the beginning of the next episode. So you guys have a great day. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.